All right, I want to start by giving all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekah Kwadash. Double honor to the elders and the apostles and teachers and wise men of great millstone that I learned this truth from through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, through the Rekah Kwadash, the Holy Spirit. Salutations out there to the elect. All right, I want to do a quick lesson going into one of the end time signs that the Lord Yahweh Shai spoke of that would occur in the last days. Salakia. Salakia. All right, let's start right here in Matthew 24 and verse 3. It says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, this is talking about Yahweh Shai, who people ignorantly call Jesus Christ. It says, as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, his disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be, and when shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? You see? So his disciples wanted to know, when will the end come? When will the end of the world or the end of this earth age come? You see, or the end of this wicked kingdom, ruled by these Edomites and these other heathen nations. When will it come? But mainly the Edomites are ruling. You have these other heathen nations, they're ruling somewhat, but mainly Esau, which is Edom, he is ruling. You see, because the end of the world is talking about the end of the world of Esau. Let me get a precept to that, and then I'm going to come back. Salakia. Let's get a precept. Forgive me. Let's see. Salakia, bear with me. Let me increase the lighting. Let's see. The end of the world. Bear with me. It may be in the Apocrypha. Let's see. Salakia. Let's see. Yeah, it's in the Apocrypha. Let's get it. Let's see. It says, for Esau is the end of the world. Salakia. Bear with me. Esau is. All right, here we go. All right, this is second Esdras. Let's get this quick precept to that. This is second Esdras 6 in verse 9. Let me open it up. All right, second Esdras 6 and 9. It says, six and 9. All right, we'll start at verse. Let's see. Now this is Ezra speaking to the angel Uriel about what is about the things that were going to occur in the latter days. Let's start at verse 7. It says, then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first earth age, and the beginning of it that followed, the second earth age? Verse 8, it says, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. Verse 9, for Esau is the end of the world. You see, Esau is the end of the world. You so-called Edomites. I mean, not so-called, but you so-called white people, you Edomites. You're the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. You see? Let's go back to Matthew 24. His disciples want to know, when will the end of the world, you see, what will be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world, or the end of Esau? Because what? Esau is the end of the world. As I read in second Esdras 6 and 9, you see, what will be the end of Esau's world? Because Esau is the end of the world, which means what? you so-called white people, you Edomites, which the seed of Esau, it's been, scattered, not scattered, but it's like it's been, he sowed his seed among the nations, you see. So you have the seed of Esau looking like other nations also, you see, just like Israelites will look like other nations because the seed of Israel was scattered. But the point is that Esau is the end of the world, you see. The disciples, they were looking for the end of the end of the world, the end of Esau's rulership. Verse 4, it says, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am anointed, or I am a Mashiach, and shall deceive many. Verse 6, it says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, which we're hearing that now with Russia, and other countries, wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation. We're coming close to that. And kingdom against kingdom, you see. That time is rapidly approaching. See, it says, and there shall be famines, pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places. Let's get the word diverse. Let's see what that means. I have a video to play too, so bear with me. Let's see the word diverse. Let's see what that means. All right. The word diverse. It says, let's see. Diverse. Let's get the etymology. Well, the root word. It says down from, throughout, according to, towards, which, throughout, you say, in diverse places, which throughout the world, you see, or throughout the earth. You're going to have earthquakes in different places throughout the earth. All right, let's go back. All right, it says, let's continue to read. It says, all these are the beginning of sorrows, you see. So let's play this video, give you an example of an earthquake that happened, in the in part of the earth, or New York, you see. Let's play this video. You see, because earthquakes are going to happen throughout the earth, which is a sign of what? The end. When we are in the latter days. All right, let's play this. Lock it, bear with me.
This is from the New York City Emergency Management talking about a 3.0 magnitude earthquake that was reported at around 10:17 p.m. last night near Hasbrouck Heights, New Jersey. They say that some New Yorkers, in fact, may have felt that earthquake. At this time, no damage has been reported to NYC Emergency Management, and all agencies have reported no impacts related to this event. There are also no known issues reported on affecting utility services, transportation systems, traffic flow, or structural stability across the city. But again, some scary moments perhaps for folks who were feeling some of the shakes, as you're taking a live look right here of New York City right here. And some feeling the effects as far away as Long Island in Westchester County. That's according to Fox 5 New York reporting right there. Some witnesses saying that they could feel the shakes in Metro New York City there as well. So to talk more about this, I do want to bring in Haley Meyer, who is a Fox News meteorologist, and we appreciate you taking the time to join us, Haley. I mean, my first question would be this: just how rare is it for an earthquake to strike this particular area of the U.S.?
Well, what's interesting is we had an earthquake back in April of last year. So you would think, okay, this is somewhat common. We get them every year. As a matter of fact, we see a few earthquakes every 1 to 3 years, but they're on the lower end of the magnitude scale. So we're talking a magnitude 2.0 or less, which when you see something like that, you typically don't feel it. However, it averages around every 5 to 10 years where you can get larger earthquakes. So magnitude 3.0 or 4.0, but we're seeing them with a little more increased frequency here. If you look at the past last couple of years. Now, as you mentioned, this was a magnitude 3.0. Some felt it, some didn't. I was on the side of I didn't feel anything, but we had some other Fox News meteorologists that did, and it actually woke them up at night. And you mentioned it happened over in Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey, but the shock was actually felt into portions of Connecticut, closer to Bridgeport, Connecticut, up into the Catskills through Long Island. And for those of you who may not know exactly what earthquake magnitude equates to, this is what it means. So 2 or less, usually not felt at all. It happens deep beneath the Earth's crust. And so it's just business per usual. Now, once you get into the 3 to 5 category, often you can feel it, and it's hit or miss if you feel it or not, and you can see minor impacts or some minor damage. Now, when we say minor damage, we're talking cracks in walls, potentially some infrastructure, roadways that could see some smaller cracks, but not widespread catastrophic damage by any means. Once you get into the 6 category, minor damage to some buildings can occur, so to their foundations. You jump up to a 7, major damage in populated areas, and then up to an 8 or greater with major earthquake, and that is catastrophic. Now,
You see, people like this, they don't understand that, the signs of the times. But we that seek the Lord, we understand that this is a sign of the end, that we're getting close to the end of Esau's kingdom, Esau's world. You see, people like her, which are of the world, they don't understand the scriptures. You see.
What's interesting is we had an earthquake 8 miles off the east coast of Russia that triggered a tsunami warning, and that was just less than a week ago. So this is nothing in comparison, but it is interesting to see the seismic activity that we have going on across the globe. Now, when you talk about who felt it and who didn't, so the earthquake happened here. It's almost equidistant if you talk about over the Hudson to Yonkers, New York, for those of you who have been to the overall area. The majority of Long Island actually didn't feel this, but the closer you get, so we're talking Brooklyn out towards Queens, they actually did. There were reports of weak to light shakes. And what happens is if you feel an earthquake, you can go on to the USGS site and fill out a quick survey if anything broke or fell, and if it was weak, light, moderate, and strong. So this helps the USGS kind of figure out what kind of earthquake intensity happened. But I do want to just kind of reiterate a few things about what happened last April. This was back on April 5th, right before the total solar eclipse, where we had a magnitude 4.8. That one was strong, did see some minor infrastructure issues. This was actually a little bit closer to some of the fault lines, which are highlighted here. So we have the Flemington out towards Hopewell, and then Ramapo. And so when you get the rubbing of these fault lines, that's when you see earthquakes start to get produced. Now, after that magnitude 4.8, we had an aftershock of a magnitude 3.7. Both of those earthquakes stronger than what we saw just yesterday. But it is, again, something very interesting. The Empire State Building posted on X, "I am fine," in the middle of the night to make sure that all New Yorkers or tourists knew that things were okay here in the city. But definitely it was jarring for some folks, especially when you think about, I'm going to go visit New York and I'm not expecting an earthquake to be something in my forecast. But overall, we're not expecting any aftershocks. Really, this is on the lower end of the earthquake scale. And if we did see an aftershock, it would be within the next 24 hours. So another 12 hours left on that timestamp. Back to you.
Yeah, no, Haley, thank you. And that was going to be my next question. But that graphic really just gives you, so much added context when it comes to New York. And you don't necessarily think of earthquakes. But again, it's not, it's not impossible, clearly, for all of that to happen. No, we appreciate all of that information. And, Fox Weather always there and always sharing the latest information about all the natural disasters and the weather. We appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
And another live look here out of New York City, as we were hearing from Haley, these aftershocks really, not going to happen. It is a 3.0 magnitude earthquake, so nothing major. But again, you might have felt it if you lived in this area. So,
Yeah, you might have felt it. But the point is that we that seek the Lord understand that this is a sign that we're getting closer to the end of Esau's kingdom. We're getting closer to the end of the world, you see, which this is obviously a sign that the downfall of America, which is Babylon the Great, is coming close. And we're getting close to the divine kingdom and the return of the Lord, you see. So this is just a lesson going into one of the signs of the end times. You see, one of the signs that would occur before the Lord returns. Earthquakes in diverse places. All right, I'll end the lesson here. And, hopefully, we won't have too many more earthquakes, and the Lord will come real soon and destroy this place, this wicked kingdom. You see, so I'll end the lesson here. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rikakwadash. Shalom.